Hey everyone, Alex here with Off the Cuff Reviews. I'm back again to bring you guys a special new video. This time we're going to be talking about the movie Pieces of a Woman because it is one of my top anticipated films and I finally saw it. So let's get into it. Pieces of a Woman is a 2020 drama film starring Vanessa Kirby and Shia LaBeouf and Ellen Burstyn, of course. It was released by Netflix and we are pretty grateful that Netflix picked this up because it was actually pushed back. And it just released this month and it is 2021 in January. So this was a movie that came out last year though, which is why I was really anticipating it. I do really enjoy Shia LaBeouf. I know that he has his own shit going on outside of this realm, but I do enjoy him in most of all of his roles. This is no exception either. He is very good in this role. It seems like a lot of his lines were delivered off the cuff almost. Like he's spontaneously coming up with these words on the spot. It's almost like he was putting his own personality into this role, which is pretty evident just from watching some of his stuff outside of movies and then comparing it to how he was delivering his lines in this one. They're very similar, but the real standout in this one is, of course, Vanessa Kirby. She delivers an astonishing performance, and of course there's something that traumatic that happens at the beginning of the movie, and then we are brought into the lives of these people. Ellen Burstyn also delivers a good performance, even though her character was kind of flat for me. I don't really like the way they wrote her character at all, but she delivered a really good performance. I also thought the editing was superb. I really enjoyed that long, like 24-minute one take at the beginning to show this entire breakdown of that traumatic event that happens. And I think that they used that tool correctly. There's a lot of movies that come off very gimmicky when they use a long one take, and of course it is a gimmick, so of course a lot of films feel that way, but this one, they utilized it in a way where it feels more natural, like you're in the room as a spectator watching this, not necessarily just for the gimmick to make you go ooh and ah, you know what I mean? There was a purpose behind actually putting this in the movie. Speaking about long takes, I believe the movie climax has a really long dance scene, which I really enjoyed. So if you're into real weird, obscure, crazy, out of the box things, go check that movie out. I also have a review of it on my channel as well because that one just really knocked it out of the park for me. But with all of that said, I feel like the weaknesses of this movie for Pieces of a Woman lie mostly in the plot. I feel like they could have explored a lot more with this subject matter, and they decided to go a more safe route. It's kind of predictable, it kind of feels like it's supposed to be a boring film. It feels like it's so predictable that it's almost boring at times, but they splice in some really nice artsy cinematography as well, which give it a nice touch, and the score is really good as well. So when you bring in these elements of cinematography and the score and you overlay it with even some boring parts, regardless of what's going on, even if it's boring per se, you're still invested in the story, especially because of Vanessa Kirby's performance. Whenever she is on screen, she demands your attention. She literally, it literally down to, even when there's a shot from behind, you can see her clench her jaw. It's literally stuff like that where you just get the that presence, and it just really draws you in, and it kind of makes it more intense. There were elements that they tried to throw in there to make it even more intense, but I feel like they fell flat because nothing came of it. Like stuff like the them cutting in between scenes and putting a date on the screen, almost like it's leading up to something, but nothing happens from that. So there's certain things that I feel like they could have just cut out, that they probably put in there for an artistic standpoint, that really don't do anything for the movie. But that doesn't take away from how I feel about the performances and the rest of the film. I think that this is one of the better Netflix films that have come out recently, and I'm really excited to see Vanessa Kirby in more things, actually. She is phenomenal. With all of that said, I'm going to give Pieces of a Woman an A-. I think the performances were great. I think Shia LaBeouf delivers a really off-the-cuff, awesome performance, as well as Vanessa Kirby delivering some of the best acting that I've seen in a while, just demanding your attention every time she's even in a frame. And that's what you like from a leading woman, and she deserves some awards for her performance because it's just so good. But thank you for watching, and if you guys have any suggestions for things that you want to see on the channel, just leave it down below. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. There's a link to my Patreon. It's only $2 a month, so go check that out. And hey, I'll see you on the flip side. So stay safe, everyone.